I just thought it would be easier to kind of show you what my course looked like so you can kind of get an idea and a feel for what it is. So as far as what Canvas is, this is actually what the kids are all using throughout the high schools in the district now. And so they have their school issued iPads, and generally speaking, like the teachers put their stuff on Canvas. So I do this even for my in-person kids, but the entire course is through Canvas. So here's my home pages for Honors Online for the first semester. And so each of these, takes them to their modules, but I always tell them like modules is the best place that you can go. And so I'll show you what that looks like. There's always the kind of introductory module here. Kind of gives all the information that you need to know. And I'll take you through, we could just do this one. So my first module up is Early Civilizations, and so I always start with an introduction page. And looks like this, so I kind of give a little introduction into civilization beginning, the essential questions and learning objectives that are all tied to the state standards for world history in the state of Arizona. And my recording won't let me. There we go. Okay. And so then generally speaking, they have a guided reading assignment. And that looks like it's basically some vocabulary and a few questions from the reading. Now, I know you were asking about the book for the reading. We do have the same book that AP, it's throughout the district, so the AP and Honors book is the same. You can check one out from the library, but I don't think there were very many that were sent to the schools. I only have a half class set because it's all online and the kids can access the book completely online. So I have a PDF that goes with it. I think it's kind of easier than having to go through the workaround. So I just have a PDF of the chapter. It's going to take a second to download. It's nothing super exciting, but that's some of their direct instruction. Now, sometimes I have recorded lectures as well, and they do an assignment with that. So I kind of like to mix it up so that they don't have to read a chapter every single week. I think that would get kind of boring. Then, generally speaking, about once every 2 weeks, we have oops, something didn't work. But we have a discussion post, and I generally break it up in steps, so what they need to be able to do. And they post, do their initial post, and then they also reply to classmates, at least 2 of them. So that's part of the work as well. Oh, and it's going to load my replies. I definitely don't want to do that. So hold on. I mean, I could, but it's very, very lengthy. So let's go back to our modules real quickly here. Okay. And we'll go past, oops, let's not go to Greece yet. So they have their discussion board, and then generally speaking, there are, little things like this. So these are some of their things, their assignments that they complete. They have steps that they have for answering questions. This one's kind of fun. They have like a PowerPoint like slides with pictures from actual archaeological digs, and they have to try and guess what their significance was to their society. But anyways, just to kind of show you the setup, I always have the assignment name and the objective, and then if it's worth assignment points versus assessment points. And there's always a rubric that's tied to it. And the rubric is always down here, so they can see exactly what they need to do within general assignments. Okay, so that's the dig. I also have something this one's kind of fun as well. I generally like to keep it like pretty like, what's the word? Pretty good at connecting it back to their lives. So the idea of geography and how geography affects our lives and how it also affected our early river civilizations. So that's kind of like the everyday kind of grind. So what I was talking about with like the performance tasks, okay, they generally create something. So here's like a performance task week. They have a creation, and this is their, here we go, this is a worth a project, so it's actually like assessment points. And what they are doing is that I talk about what grapes are, geography, religion, like achievement, so our architecture, political structure, economy, and social structure. And then they need to create, kind of using that knowledge that they have, a Prezi or a PowerPoint, something that displays the grapes of two civilizations of their choice from within the unit. And so I kind of give them their own choices here. And I have kind of guiding questions to help them. And these are generally ones that are going to take a little bit longer. So suggested time is like 5 hours total for the project. That's what I'm talking about with like performance tasks. So, but you get a couple days to do it. It's not like I give it to you that day and you have to do it in 5 hours. That would be kind of ridiculous. So there's the same type of thing. I always have a rubric attached to it. That's really what it looks like. Also in these weeks, just so I won't take you through everything, but this is where they practice writing document-based questions because they have these on their finals. They have a review assignment as well so that they can start reviewing content for their actual unit test. Then they take their unit tests and then generally a reflection after that. So that's like a performance task week. That's what I was talking about with like the creative pieces. So is there anything else? Let me see. So that's kind of just some examples. So those are, again, like the recorded lectures. Sorry, I'm just going through your list. Recorded lectures, sometimes information from a textbook as well. I don't believe they're going to let him keep his iPad. So that would be, if you're doing over the summer, generally, unless you have another iPad, you're probably going to be doing it on a computer, which is fine. I mean, I can do all this stuff on a computer as well. So I do, obviously, I don't do this from my iPad. And what else? I would suggest, as far as like taking honors, I would suggest that you probably take one and then the other. If you take them at the same time, I've had kids do it over the summer, but it's like 8 hours of work a day. I think that's too much. And if you're taking them during the same semester, I also think it's going to be too much on top of like an entire day of school. That's a lot of work. And not only that, but they do, because it is history. I mean, if it was another subject, I don't know, like English, maybe you'd be able to take them both at the same time. But history really does build, from unit to unit. The causes and effects, the causation it's just, I think it'd be easier to probably just take them separately. Again, I've had kids do it, but it's kind of harder for them to make connections throughout history, and I can tell from some of their work, and a lot of times they have to end up going back and like revising their work. And then I definitely think he could accomplish one of them like on top of his regular school day. I have kids that are doing it right now in class, and it would still be hard. Like kids always say, the time management at the beginning is kind of difficult, but if you stick to the pacing calendar that I send out, it's easy to stay on top of things. So I really would love to see Michael in the class, and if you have any more questions, and I'm sorry I did it video wise, I just figured it would probably be easier to show you what the course looks like. So if you have any other questions, just let me know. Thanks.